why Grace works. That's the question you obviously clicked on the video for, but for me to tell you why Grace works, first we need to see what Grace is up against. And what it's up against is doors is what popularized the whole going through 100 doors and reaching the end concept on Roblox. You and maybe some of your friends would go through 100 doors and try and survive monsters. It was simple, but it was fun. The problem though arises once you beat it. Doors doesn't have too much replayability. You can grind some badges, show off to friends, but that's it. And eventually you'll get bored. But after Doors, something new came along that revitalized the whole genre on Roblox. And what that was Pressure was just Star Wars but underwater, but it was fresh and new. People loved it. It had new lore, new concepts, new monsters. But over time, slowly, it faced the same problem that Doors did. Once you beat it, there's not a reason to keep playing. Like, same as Doors, you can grind out badges so you can brag amongst your friends or look cool in a server. But that's it. So slowly, players started leaving. But this is where we finally reach a huge part of why Grace works is replayability. There's cosmetics in the game to grind out, which automatically increases replayability tenfold, but there's also other game modes you can go through, such as Zen, where you just peacefully go through each door in the game, and Reprieve, a fast-paced game mode where you touch red pillars and avoid monsters, while also getting a good grade and staying within the time limit. And that's not even mentioning the base game mode, where you go through doors like your obvious classic Doors game, but there are also modifiers you can put on the base game, which make it more interesting and add new monsters, such as one that makes the game a zombie shooter, and another one that makes a giant duck chase you throughout the map. All this is just to say, Grace has much more replayability than other games in the genre. But replayability isn't the only thing that makes Grace work. What also makes Grace work is speed is a huge part of why Grace works, and it's the main appeal of it. But to truly understand why speed is such a huge part of what makes Grace work, we have to look into Grace's main inspiration, Ultra Kill. Ultra Kill is a fast-paced first-person shooter where your main objective is to beat the level you're in as fast and as cool as possible. And I'm sure if you know Grace, this sounds very familiar. Ultra Kill works because of speed. Even from the start of the game, it doesn't hold your hand. It throws you into a pit and it says good luck. And I think that's what people love so much about Ultra Kill and Grace, that it doesn't hold your hand. And it just throws you in and says, go ham. And you do. You go as fast as possible, and it's awesome. Speed is what has given both Ultra Kill and Grace an audience. And it's a huge part of what makes them work, and what makes them fun to play. But there's one last part of Grace that I think makes it truly fun, and what makes it truly work. And that aspect is Grace's aesthetic is the final part of what makes it really work, because of just how well built and designed the aesthetic is. We have to refer back to Ultra Kill here for a second, because the aesthetic of Ultra Kill is so amazingly and immaculately designed that almost nothing can beat with it. One of the first things Ultra Kill tells you about his world is that humanity is dead, hell is full, and blood is fuel, and it throws you in. Ultra Kill also lets you know that there are bigger things than you going on around you. You're a robot. A very strong one, yes, I will admit, but still a machine, whose only goal is to continue to gain fuel, whereas around you, powerful people who fought against the kingdom of heaven are locked up, and you must fight them, and you've driven an angel mad to a point where he's dismantled the hierarchy of heaven, as you, a machine, venture deeper into hell in search of more fuel. All this is just to say, Ultra has an amazing aesthetic, and it very much inspired the aesthetic of Grace, with Grace taking place seemingly in purgatory, while you're facing monsters to find your way into heaven. An aesthetic much like Ultra Kill, while also remaining very much separate. Grace also has elements of humor mixed in, giving it a charm that's not even mentioning the old Roblox feel it gives off, which really makes the game just feel, look, and play amazingly. In conclusion though, what makes Grace work is three main aspects: replayability, speed, and aesthetic. That is what makes Grace work. Thank you for watching the video. If you enjoyed, please subscribe. And let's move on to the outro. Hey everybody, this is my outro song. I hope that you do sing along. I'm the Moth Maker, and I make content. Please give me money. I need money. Please subscribe. I don't have a dime. I have really, really bad rhymes. Please subscribe. This is the outro song. The outro song. The outro song. This is the Moth Maker outro song. Please subscribe. I don't have a dime. If you give me a little bit of your time, maybe subscribe and give me a dime. A dime, a dime, a dime, a rhyme. I got bars from Mars. Girls go to Jupiter to get more stupider. Boys go to Mars to get more bars. That's what I'm saying. My name's not Lars. My name is Mothmaker, and I take time to make these videos, and I spit bars, rhymes, and hymes, and lots of things. So please subscribe and have a good time. Bye.